Sir. Such a short notice, but you honored us with your presence. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
So I spoke about the topic just in we just titled it "Who owns the baby?" But a bit of a background to what we're discussing. So there's a video that was trending last week on a popular Yoruba TV radio station, an online platform, but a very popular station. And we caught on the story because it involved cross-carpeting adultery, shall we say. Haja Wasila, maybe you should be the one shedding a bit of light on this topic that we're discussing today.
What I would say is that there's this video going on, and in that video, there is the interviewer, as we all know, the man is a popular TV person, TV presenter, radio presenter, and a blogger as well. In that, he was interviewing a man, and he interviewed the man and two ladies also. No, the two men, only the two men, and was asking questions about.
By two men, Haja Wasila, break it down. Sorry to cut in. One is an alpha, an ustaz, and the other person a pastor.
Yes. It was a supposed alpha and
Supposed pastor. Wow.
Yes, because the thing with us is when we see people trying to, maybe they are just praying and they know a bit of Quran or things like that, we name them alpha instantly.
Okay.
So I will not say, I will just say supposed alpha and then.
So you don't stain the pastoral.
Got pregnant for the man, for the pastor. So the question now is, who owns the baby? What is the injunction about it in Islam, and how do we prevent this kind of things? I guess Amina will be able to talk more on that. Yes.
Right, thanks for sharing a bit of the background. So, Imam, I know I shared the video with you, and subhanAllah, Ustaz was infuriated when he watched it because it was just so messy and dirty, and it was just the utter confidence with which they spoke loosely on public. Let me just, it's a bit shameful. So, but just to get to the bottom of it, the reason why we've raised it on the show is because I think we've trivialized adultery and we've trivialized fornication. The lines are so blurry now that we don't even know when we've crossed the line and what boundaries, what's going on. No matter how, whatever was happening in the Alpha's home, did he have to degenerate so badly that it then turns that the wife. Let me tell you one of the opening speech in the interview when the interviewer asked the pastor if he impregnated that he slept with the Alpha's wife in his matrimonial home, and he said no, he didn't. That she came to his own house, and it was so without remorse. I mean, if you had watched that video, you would know what I'm saying. It was a very casual conversation. Imam, let me bring you in here. Your general thoughts about the video, first of all. Then we now look at specific questions bordering on, Islam and our teachings and our practice. So on a general note, share your own first-hand feeling that you shared with me when I shared the video with you, sir.
Firstly, it's my pleasure being with you on the program. May Allah reward you abundantly. The moment I got the video link, I quickly clicked on it to have an insight into what is to be discussed. Sincerely, I got aback with, I got abreast with the level of effrontery and the boldness of that individual regarding the evil committed. The way he was answering the question documentary, I think he was asked if he had sexual interaction with the lady in the husband's house, and he said, no, I didn't. What if you were given evidence? He said, no, there can't be evidence when I didn't do it.
Yes.
I didn't sleep with her in his house. I slept with her in my house.
Yes.
Subhanallah.
Subhanallah.
That alone, you know, he was so proud of that action. No shyness, no form of remorse.
Yes.
In his presentation. It got me really disgusted.
So, Haja Wasila. Haja Wasila, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So, you know, when we're talking about the issue beyond the outright, I'm choosing my words carefully. There's so many words jumping to the front of me. If I was talking to you offline, subhanallah, the things that I've said, I'm just really, really picking my words. Yeah. So beyond this, what led this woman? What could she? Because now we now woman to woman. We're the one caught in between here. What could have led her to go that far, to seek help? She's the wife of a supposed, you said, ustaz that should be able to assist her with what to do when in need of, or you know, whatever. What would have pushed her to then switch to the other side?
I can't. The thing is, for me personally, I can't specifically say that this is what led the woman. What we can only advocate is to try as much as possible to tell our fellow women out there, if you know that you are tired of the marriage or something like that, it's better for you to first seek counseling, and afterwards, if it's not something you can sustain, it's better for you to just leave. But for you to commit right there, because I can't understand the fact. I think it starts with familiarity. You know, one of the things that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam advocate and tell us in the hadith is that we should try when a man and a woman, you know, there is what we call affection, and you know, sometimes when you can't really tell your hobby or your whatever you are going through, you understand. And this woman, it could start with, you know, if you watch that video, they said the woman normally just go and complain to the man initially.
Yes.
About
what she was going through, and he used to just assist her financially.
Yes. You know, normally it will start with complaining about the man initially. Then it now led to the man asking the man to assist her. You know, so from the assistance, it leads to that. Did you get it?
Right.
So we can see that. Let's just say you understand?
Right.
And one of the things which we normally tell the stars is this, that even if you are telling people, I'm telling them to promote polygamy, because according to the woman, she said they are supposed to have had 3 wives.
Right.
You understand? And even if you are promoting polygamy, telling our brothers to get married and things like that, are you sure that these men too are actually capable of the wife? Can they provide financially, and can they really be able to be there for the woman whenever she actually needs them? You understand? Because these are some of the things I'm not encouraging. When I first saw the video, I was like, even they said it's supposed the heading alone was supposed wife of an afar got pregnant for a pastor, because it's a faith they are facing. Number one is the kind of environment that you put a woman in. You know, when you know the standard for most people that want to do polygamy is always like, at least for a wife, the wife should have her own room, her own kitchen, and her own
convenience.
Yes. so that she takes away the Islamic aspect. She sharing with others will be taken away. That familiarity, opening of body and things like that with other people, sharing it will be avoided one way or the other. Did you get it? So then, if the husband too should encourage the wife to have lots of female mentors, and the husband should always be there, will be responsible enough to be providing for them. When the woman was complaining, the only person she could see at that time, which I'm not there, is maybe possibly that supposed pastor. Did you get it? Because I don't believe that a genuine.
Let me come in here. Let me bring Imam in. Haja Wasila. Ustaz, sir. So, we what we've seen, I mean, I know I shared just a short clip with you, and from additional information that Haja has shared, she's a third wife. The husband in question has 3 wives. Obviously struggling financially to cater for his family, and so this has pushed the woman out. Who is really to blame? The wife, the husband who couldn't keep his home, and Islamically, who owns the child? I mean, it's obvious now that she has inherited, she's brought a child from out of the wedlock, but what's the ruling? Can the husband take that child? What exactly? How does this play out Islamically, sir?
Firstly, I think regarding who is to be blamed, that's a big question though, because it will require more insight into the situation to know what exactly happened. Firstly, the woman is wrong.
Yes.
The supposed partner of hers in crime is also wrong. But with the narration I listened to,
yes, sir,
it seems, I think Haja Wasila was talking about she being the third wife. I don't think, from what I understood from there, I don't think the 3 wives are even together with the man.
No, they are not.
She mentioned, I think it was mentioned there, that they only give, but they left, one left after the other. The same way the first left was the way second left, regarding issue of finances,
yes,
or thereabout, as claimed in that
video.
Yes,
sir.
So it might not even be that the man had the 3 of them at once, and he might have had them at once, but the major issue there is that financial capability was a strong concern.
Yes, sir.
That woman, it was the supposed pastor, said that she used to come on a Wednesday to his church, probably for a program.
Yes.
Is she even a Muslim? That's another question. Is that woman a Muslim? Because what could have led her to go into the pastor's program every Wednesday? And it was said that she used to come with some other women or thereabout.
Yes.
So was she formerly a non-Muslim that was married by the husband, the imam or thereabout? That she was married as a non-Muslim, and she couldn't, stay away from non-Islamic practices or thereabout. That's another shady area that we do not seem to understand. Yeah. What had led her to go into church. And sincerely speaking, there's an abuse of an Islamic allowance in our community regarding marrying non-Muslims.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I'm sorry to cut you there, because the way you said it, that maybe she even let me just say that we cannot. I hope Amina is there.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm with you.
All right. What I will say is, they don't have with what we have said. Even ask Amina. When a woman had problem, a lot of women nowadays, So sorry, not say a lot.
Some women.
The few that we've seen, when they have problem, the next thing they do is to move closer to God, irrespective of who is now telling them. So it now matters. What matters now is their background. Not saying whether they're Muslim or they're Christian now. What we're saying is, what do they understand about the deen and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about understanding when a woman, all of us will be tried in the verse of the Quran with hunger, with this and that. How many people understand that? So some of them, it's easy. You know, when they tell, bring your problem, we will solve it for you. You know, maybe she has been saying the pastor solving some problems. So don't let us assume that this person is not a Muslim. What we can say is that Agboye Elumi Otito, because I've seen some Muslims that despite all this, they still go to the other side and they match the two together when it comes to prayers and things like that. So don't let us say that maybe this person is not a Muslim. I don't want us to rule that out. But
yes, I understand you. But you know,
to your discussion. Yes.
Now, the ruling Islamically, even if she was a Muslim, born a Muslim, had been so fervent with Islam, such steps take her out of the fold of Islam.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It stops being a Muslim. So now, I'm just trying to create a premise for a discussion I wanted to chip in.
No.
Regarding, you know, some people find it so easy when problem comes, they trace their step backwards.
Yes.
If she wasn't a Muslim before and was made to accept Islam because of the marriage or thereabout, and she faces challenges, then the first thing that is easy for her is to trace her step backwards.
Sure.
To go to what she had been convinced about regarding solution and things like that.
Sure.
I hope you get what I'm trying to.
Very true. Very true, sir.
So, our background determines the step someone takes. The background of an individual determines the step the person takes when a situation arises. So, if it was that she wasn't a Muslim initially and just accepted Islam because she wanted to marry that particular individual, then I'm trying to say that this is part of the wrong steps we find ourselves in our society, all in the name of there is permissibility in Islam that a man can marry non-Muslims without understanding the permissibility. We need to have an in-depth understanding. The same Islam that says that you can marry the muhsanat, the chaste ones amongst the people of the book, is the same Islam that told us that Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nar. You should protect your family from hell. When you marry someone that is not practicing Islam, these are part of the things that may arise from it. And apart from that, the children may not practice the deen. The husband does not know how long he will stay on the surface of the earth. If he dies, who takes over after him? Someone that has no knowledge about the deen. The person will eventually take the children out of the folds of Islam and take them into a different direction. Whatever that will lead to haram, that will lead to something prohibited, is a prohibition on its own. The arena where Islam permits such thing is within the context where the ruling of Islam is predominant, and there is a limit to the activities of the non-Muslims in that location. Not in a situation where we Muslims are like minority in the society, and different laws, different rulings are being used to suppress us within the society. So, trying to answer the question of who is to be blamed, I'm picking it from that area, that if it is that the husband actually took her as a non-Muslim, and they went into marriage like that, might be the first mistake he might have made in that regard. But yes, as Aja Wasila said, she could have been a Muslim too initially, but trying to look for solution to our problems and thereabout, hearing a miracle center, blah 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 and blah blah blah, she kept going there. So that could be another angle at which such a thing could have happened. And that alone takes her out of the fold of Islam. It takes her completely out of the fold of Islam. A woman not having a husband to take good care of her, although really pathetic, highly discouraging. In fact, it's enough for a woman to seek divorce in Islam if the husband is not taking the financial responsibility of feeding, of clothing and shelter, which is a basic need. If the husband is not doing this, it's enough for her to seek divorce Islamically. Now, if you are not seeking divorce, then it means you should be able to keep your modesty. You should be able to keep your chastity. And for you to do this, it may be that she wants to get some job doing, or get into some businesses to seek to make ends meet, not in any way allowed to resort to illegal sexual intercourse in the name of not being fed by the husband or not being catered for by the husband. It's not an excuse before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that because the husband is not taking care of her, so as a result she has to use what she has
to get what she
wants,
needs,
which is the normal slogan. This is completely un-Islamic. If you are no more satisfied with the marriage, you have the right to seek divorce. A woman seeks divorce, she cannot divorce the husband, so then she seeks divorce. These are part of the primary reasons that a marriage could be dissolved Islamically. Now that this has happened, there are 5 basic principles in Sharia. We have Hifzuddin, protection of the religion. We have Hifzul Aqil, protection of the intellect. We have Hifzul Mal, protection of wealth. We have Hifzul Nasal or Nasab, protection of progeny or lineage. Then number 5 is Hifzul Hayat, protection of life. All these 5 things, all the rulings of Islam is based on these 5 things. All the do this, don't do this, this is encouraged, this is not encouraged. All of them are based on these 5 principles. So you will see that one of them is Hifzun Nasal, protection of lineage. Islam has put laws in place to ensure that lineage is not being attacked. Our lineage is intact, is protected. So, and one of the ways of protecting lineage is through marriage. Marriage is a protection of lineage to ensure that we don't just have untraceable lineage all about. Then, another way of protecting lineage is the issue of talaq, when the marriage is no more peaceful and is no more of tranquility, which is the primary aim of Allah saying you should go into it. So tranquility and peace, when is no more found in the marriage, then talaq is also a way out. Now, under this protection of lineage, there is this principle Al-waladu lil-firash, mentioned by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is to answer the question of who owns the child.
No.
Al-waladu lil-firash, the child belongs to the mattress. That's a typical interpretation of that statement. The child belongs to the mattress. What mattress? Whose mattress are we referring to? The child belongs to the mattress of who the woman belongs to. For example, a woman that is not married, whose mattress does she belong to? She belongs to the mattress of her father. If she gets pregnant in the course of whichever way she gets pregnant, either she was raped or she committed illegal intercourse, or whichever way, and she got pregnant, that child Islamically would be linked to her father. Would be linked to her father, would be linked to her family, would be bearing the name of her father, or the child bears the name of the woman. That's a situation where a child can bear the name of the mother. For example, saying Abdullah ibn Maryam, Abdullah the son of Maryam. This is permitted in that regard. Or we link it to the father of that Maryam, Abdullah ibn Abdul Rahman, for example. So if the woman is now married, whose mattress does she belong to? She belongs to the mattress of her husband. If she gets pregnant while in that marriage, that pregnancy is for the husband. And the husband takes care of the pregnancy. What's the essence of this? This is to ensure that everyone has a link to a family genuinely. When someone doesn't have a link to a family, it makes the person get involved in illegal activities, commit crime easily without any consideration. Doesn't have a family to consider. For example, look at this, those children that are referred to as, this one is a bastard. This family is calling the child a bastard. The other family is calling the child a bastard. No one wants to take up responsibility of that child. And the child becomes a nuisance to the society. What happens? Those are the ones that perpetrate evil easily in the society. He has no family he's afraid of. He has no family he's considering. What do you want to tell him? Remember the son of who you are. Who am I? He doesn't consider all this. He perpetrates evil without looking back. And also, apart from the issue of what's it called? The protection of lineage and the likes, trying to go into who impregnated a woman at a particular time, a woman that is a wife, like it is happening now. A lot of people going into DNA. Some people have lost their mental health because of this. Some people are living dead, living corpse because of this.
Some have committed suicide. Yes.
Because of this. Getting to know that he has 4 children and none of the 4 belongs to him. Why? Why do we need to go into finding out things like this? Islam has settled everything. Al-waladu lil-firash. The child belongs to the mattress. As long as that woman remains the wife, and you didn't meet her, you didn't in any way find her carrying out illegal sexual intercourse, anytime she is pregnant, you don't need to start, being doubtful of, am I the owner of this pregnancy? Am I not? Because Islamically, in the process where, or in a situation where we uphold Islamic ruling, nobody will dare to come to anybody's family to claim a child because he knows the consequence. The consequence is that he will be killed.
Sure.
He has committed
adultery.
sin.
No.
And now you are opening up that I impregnated this woman. Okay. The meaning is that you will not even be alive to father that child. So what's the point requesting to have the child? Then he will keep quiet. He will keep quiet and not come out to own up that I impregnated this woman. Unless they were caught in the Islamic way, having 4 witnesses to testify against them, then it will be registered that they actually committed the illegal issue. Look at someone having a goat. Let me give you a scenario that will make us understand it better. Someone having a she-goat. And the she-goat steps out of the compound and met with a he-goat. The he-goat had copulation with the she-goat, and the she-goat got pregnant. Who owns
the babies?
The baby goat from the she-goat. Is it the owner of the he-goat or the owner of the she-goat? This answers the question of al-waladu lil-firash. Definitely, no matter how powerful the he-goat may be, as long as the she-goat has a owner, the owner of the she-goat is the owner of, even if the she-goat gives birth to 10 baby goats, all of them will belong to the owner of the she-goat. Now imagine the owner of the he-goat coming to the house of the owner of the she-goat now saying, I want to buy this she-goat. After buying it, now taking possession of it, is he-goat now copulated with the she-goat? Then who will own the babies of the she-goat? He will now be the owner of the babies of the she-goat, because now he has possession of the she-goat.
True.
So who takes possession of the woman? Where the woman belongs to is where the baby belongs to. This is the position of Islam regarding who owns the child. But once they have been caught, the Islamic way, with full evidences that they committed, illegal sexual intercourse, even if it is just the man, the husband alone, that met her maybe in his house. We've seen situations like that will meet the wife committing adultery in his home, and he's the only one. Then in Surah An-Nur, Allah gave husband and wife the opportunity not to produce 4 witnesses. They are only to make an oath. They will make an oath 5 times. The 5th one being that the man will call on the wrath of Allah upon himself if he had lied against the woman.
No.
Once he does that, then it means the woman is guilty. The only thing that will take off the guilt from the woman is she too
swears an oath.
An oath 4 times and call on the anger of Allah upon herself for the 5th one that he lied against her. Then the both of them will be left to the decision of Allah. Of course, the both of them couldn't have been speaking the truth.
Of course.
No, one person must have lied.
Sure.
So whoever that lied, then would face the wrath of Allah right immediately. This thing, when it happens, is an automatic divorce between them. We call it li'an. It is li'an. It's an automatic divorce between them. They get separated because one of them will meet the wrath of Allah.
True.
So, and if the woman is guilty, then she will be stoned to death. If she is pregnant, she will be left to put to bed. After putting to bed, because the child did not commit any sin, after she puts to bed, then the woman faces the wrath of the law. Then whoever that has impregnated her to face the wrath of the law. But as for the child will be taken care of by where the woman belonged to. This is Islamic situation. But in a situation where we are not practicing Islam, now we're in a society where we don't uphold Sharia. The woman even if she's accused and it is affirmed that she committed the zina now, and her sexual partner too committed the zina, is there any law to punish the both of them? Is there any law to punish them? So it's now left to the discretion of the man. Can he still uphold her in the marriage, or he wants to divorce her in the Islamic way? If he knows, and this is a warning to the man, if he knows that he will not be able to fear Allah regarding the woman, if he keeps her, he will be tormenting her, making her go through hardship, making life miserable for her, then it is best he releases her and let her go. But if he knows he will be able to fear Allah regarding her, he will take good care of her, even though she had committed what she committed, then he can hold her on into the marriage. If not, he should let her go. If he doesn't do this, he would also be committing wrongs, which is enough to also earn him another wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah safeguard us away from that. Now,
Jazakumullah khairan, subhanallah, very extensive. So, wallahi, I didn't see that coming. Actually, the ownership of the child, I didn't see that coming. You see where we should be in class. Al-Hajja Wasila, she said, we will go dust our book, return to class, return to class. Go and enroll in madrasa, about time.
You know what I told you the other time? When you were mentioning DNA compulsory or things like that.
I know, right?
You can see how our Ustaz has explained everything regarding DNA now. And Ustaz, Jazakumullah khairan for the breakdown of everything. But my next question now would be is DNA really, is it Islamic? Like you said, you made mention in the beginning that it's not something that the man is supposed to not be suspecting somebody that is already your wife. Even if the wife being that guy, like you said, that is the man is the owner of that child. But it's all this talk here and there. In the future, what about if somebody comes up and say that, okay, this child is my child, and your wife knows that child is my own? Is there any compulsory? And secondly, if it's not compulsory, there are some men that their wife is good and everything, but maybe some people are just pushing in that maybe your wife is maybe you just suspect the wife and say, okay, let me go and do secret then, and the wife got to know about it and got upset that, oh, so that means you don't trust me, and because of that the wife got angry and wants to leave. What advice will you give such couple and such wife?
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Firstly, a marriage should be full of trust. A marriage, if you are married to someone you do not trust, there will be more than 1 million problems in that marriage. There will be 1,000,001 problem in that marriage, because they will be moving from one issue into another. If you can't trust a woman or you can't trust a man, it's best not to marry him or her. Stay off that marriage. Once you are married to that person, then learn to trust that person. Because Islamically, we act upon zahir, ala basira, something that is apparent. We don't guess. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hujurat, verse, I can't remember the verse, the number of the verse. Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ijtanibu kathiran min adh-dhanni inna ba'da adh-dhanni ithmun. Allah said, oh, you who believe, stay away from assumptions, because majority of your assumptions are nothing but sins. They lead you into sins. You don't assume. In Surah to Najm, Allah said, وَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا. Your assumptions cannot override the truth. The truth remains the truth. And the truth is what we have evidence for in Islam. What can be evidenced through the book of Allah, the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, or other trusted sources. That is the truth. Any other thing that goes against those ones are not regarded as the truth. Now, you are married to this woman. That's, if the marriage is valid, then it's the truth. Once she is your wife, then her pregnancy belongs to you. That is the truth. Unless otherwise proven. Why do you want to go into something that will make your life worthless? That will make you never enjoy your life till you die? Some things are best not known. They are best not known. And Islam has taken care of that aspect for us. Islam does not encourage issue of DNA. DNA is not encouraged in Islam. Unless there are, because of the way of life we have now, that some issues are bringing about, wanting to know who is the true father of the child, that wants to warrant having DNA for the child or thereabout, For example, some people wanting to travel out, and they said they have children, and they want to know truly if the child belongs to the man. So, well, if that traveling is good enough for you to go into that, I think that's left to individual. As for me, if that is coming, I'd rather not do it. I'd rather not do that DNA than going into something that is not about, what's it called? Mistrusting or distrusting the wife now. There is a case that DNA was performed on a particular child, and the result came out that the child, acclaimed father is not the father of the child. And the woman kept insisting that I didn't get pregnant for someone else. I didn't commit
zina.
No. You can imagine the psychological imbalance
the
that
trauma
creates for both the woman and the man. It had created a lot of issues. They kept doing different ones at different places. It kept bringing out the same result, that the man is not the father of the child. Eventually, they got to the root of the matter, and what happened? The child was changed at the hospital.
Birth. Yeah.
Imagine this. And now it was a clear attack on the integrity of that woman now.
True.
Because it's a way of saying that she had committed zina, and she never committed that. So it took them a lot of time for them to settle that problem between the husband, for them to come to peace regarding this issue. So you can distrust me. Imagine how that would be. Alhamdulillah, I'm talking to women. So apart from that issue, sometimes misplacement of result, transpositional issue, transferring result of this one into another one can be another problem of what? This thing, and break the marriage, which genuinely the man owns the child, but that result came out to be to prove it wrong. It may take years before such will now be reproven that the man truly owns the. So why are we going into all this? Why? We don't need. Islam does not encourage it at all. Some will even tell you that it has no placement in Islam. Islam knows nothing. Islam it didn't give any room for DNA in any way at all. But if the balanced position is, if something warrants, like the issue of traveling is enough to, you want to place traveling over this thing of your home, your tranquility, your psychological wellness, your psychological well-being, then it's your own choice. But it is not a way of determining paternity of a child Islamically, and it is not tenable in any Islamic courts. DNA is not presentable in any Islamic courts to claim that I do not own the child. The Prophet ﷺ had settled the case. Did you marry the woman? Yes, I married the woman. Then the child is yours. Al-waladu lil firash.
Allahu Akbar. Alright. Aja Wasila, closing remarks. We're out of time. Subhanallah.
We need to go back to class.
I agree with you. I'm back in class already, as you can see. I'm automatically back in class. Now you remain. Come and join us in class. We're back in class.
We are going together, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Please, your closing remarks. Let's let me leave it to you. Thank Ustaz for us. He did a thorough job. I'm leaving it to you to thank Ustaz so we can let him go and end the show, inshallah.
Okay, we thank the Ustaz. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will continue to increase you in knowledge.
Ameen.
And we look forward to calling you again for
Inshallah.
other clarifications on other issues in case we have some other questions that we might like you to answer for us. And on what I would just say is Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah continue to bless your home.
Ameen.
And may Allah continue to, may this be a hujjah for you and not against you.
Ameen. Ameen.
Thank you very much. And we pray that all of us will take care of our responsibilities, and that just like the Ustaz has told us, we should try as much as possible to do the needful. And if we know that at any point in time this could endanger our life or our marriage, it's better for us to just leave. We pray for the best in our homes, and may Allah give us peace in all our homes. Ameen.
Jazakumullah khairan. That's how far we can go on the show today. Join us same time next week. 2:00 is the time to lock it here on Lights Radio, where we bring another beautiful package. Now, all right, then I'll leave you with Maher Zain. We'll see you next week, inshallah.